Oh, I'm so glad you're here, bro. And it's partially because I knew that you needed to hear this. I knew I needed to talk to you about this. And when you're trying to put your life back together after something catastrophic, you may have to use a new technique. What the fuck do I know? You may need to do whatever you need to do. I had to use a new technique for myself. Maybe you have even better techniques. Let me know. I don't know everything. What the fuck? And so what I did is I had a situation where my, heartbreak was so deep that it actually affected like who I was. Like parts of my core self and core personality felt broken because this was like a part of this was my entire life, you know what I mean? And like I was not just me, Andrew Ferris. I was Andrew Ferris boyfriend, or I was Andrew Ferris husband at one time. I was Andrew Ferris, all these roles, and I had never been just Andrew Ferris. I had all these other hats, and all of a sudden the wardrobe of hats is gone. Now you're alone in your studio apartment. Work ends. You get out of work, and normally you call home, hey, what are you gonna eat for dinner? What are we gonna do? Blah 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 blah. Now you find yourself, it's 5:30, and you get your backpack, you get your stuff, and it's like, what do I do? Like, do I call do I just go home? Like, what, who, and like, you're a fucking adult grown man, and you find yourself like a child. Who do I ask fucking permission to? Am I allowed to be happy now? What am I and like, oh, I was lost there for a while. And then you get your bearings a little bit, and then it's like, oh my God, every single day you have like this searing pain inside your soul. And like, what am I gonna do, man? And like, you try to do a bunch of things. You try to throw money at it, you try to throw sex at it, you try to throw drugs at it. You're shooting everything you can. Like, please stop searing every minute of my existence with unimaginable agony. And then after a while, it's almost like, Muay Thai fighters, they rub like rolling pins up and down the front of their shins to deaden the nerves. And it's like, after time, those nerves, they almost just fatigue out. Like, it's never healed over. They just fatigued out. And like, before I had felt that depth of heartbreak, I was able to kind of heal myself and move on and be in the same state of person that I was, be the same person that I was. Any cracks, any damage was able to be fixed, repaired, painted over, and almost indistinguishable. But finally you had something. Oh man. And it's like, I don't think that's gonna get fixed, man. And so you spend a lot of time like inspecting this damage and thinking like, how is it? Can I just put some paint over this? Can I just like shove other things into this gaping hole in the wall? And what I did, I don't know, maybe you've done something similar, maybe you did a better thing, but what I did was I looked at the damage, and eventually I figured out, oh dog, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix this one. Like, I don't even have a contractor's license to be getting in here. I don't even know about the electricity, bro. And I'm doing all kinds of soldering, and like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to fix that. I don't think I have the materials to repair the size of wound that this is. And so it was like, okay, well, if I can't do that, then I'm just gonna have to find a way to live around this thing. And like, it's almost as if I had this gaping hole, and then I decided like, okay, well, it looks bad for sure, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna like put some little beads, cause like it's too big of a hole for a door, so I'll put those little beads, and then like maybe I'm gonna put some edging on the sides of it so it's not so jagged and you don't like get your arm cut when you're walking through, and I'll put some lights there, and like I'll make it so that it's palatable, but it's not, I don't think it's ever gonna go away. And like, as life goes on and more serious catastrophic things inevitably happen to you, I think more and more damage will be kind of like permanent damage. Like, your parents are gonna die one day, like you're gonna lose jobs, you're gonna break up, like you're gonna lose money, like bad shit will inevitably happen. And the only kind of silver lining that I feel like I've gotten from this experience was I'm trained up for more bad shit that's inevitably gonna happen, because that's fucking life. And thank God that I've got a doctorate degree in damage to me. Because, I mean, it's like in Mario Kart, if you've been hit with enough blue shells, you can recover and keep going. But if you get hit with a blue shell for the first time and you're almost at the finish line, bro, you're gonna freak out, you know? Okay, never mind. We don't have to be sneaky. We're not gonna get in trouble. It's okay. It makes me feel disappointed that drugs have a negative stereotype, and like, it's only very recently that weed's even been legalized, and it's even quasi-legalized, still federally illegal. And like, the types of reflection that I've been able to have would not have been accessible to me if I didn't have, you know, weed and psychedelics. And the value that this reflection has given me has, like, not only in a figurative and a very real figurative way, but like in a very literal way has saved my life. Like, in a very incredibly literal way has stopped me from dying, because without the reflection, it just feels like unending agony sometimes. Life can feel so endlessly uncomfortable. And when you get a little bit high, it's almost like you're able to have a distinct separation between the parts of your brain and your personality and the words and the thoughts in your mind that are your default programming and that are authentically yours. And you can contrast and say, well, there's a gap here. And that's not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? I'm feeling bad about things that are outside of my control. That's not really fair to me. I wouldn't get upset at other people or feel that they should feel bad about that. Like, you can see that there's inconsistencies in the rules that your mind has that create the logic of reality. And inside of that gap, like, there's a bunch of crazy things that can happen. And like, things got a little bit real there. Okay, what I was trying to say is that the gaps in your perception of reality can be a pitfall, because it's very easy to identify and have a lot of confirmation when things are not going well. It's easy to know when you don't have enough money for rent, or when something's making you feel bad, or the negatives in existence are highlighted. And it's not so easy to sometimes recognize the positive things. And I don't mean this in a cliche, like, fake way of being, just be positive and that'll fix your problems. Or are you fucking hungry? Just think positively and then you'll have food. Like, bro, that's some bullshit. What I'm saying is that it's easy to forget that maybe you are doing a good job based on the situation, or that you should be proud of yourself, because those types of messages never really come from the outside world. People are quick to let you know when you fuck up, but nobody's there to let you know, like, hey man, you're hitting the metrics of life. You're showing up and doing it, even though it's drudgery or it's agony or it's difficult. You're meeting your responsibilities in a satisfactory way. Like, I'm proud of you. Good job. Like, nobody receives that confirmation, and so you can see it can be distorting, because in reality, I bet the majority of your life you're doing great, bro. And like, yeah, you have some gaps, of course, but like, what the fuck? That's life, man. Like, yeah, it's shitty, but like, you can't win everything, bro. That wouldn't be fair. You're not gonna leave any room for me or fucking the next guy. So you gotta take some L's. That's kind of part of the recipe of life. So yeah, man, when things don't work out, it's not necessarily a reflection that, you're shitty. That's just the roll of the dice.